What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today I'm back with an update video on really what has been going on cycle-wise for me for the past 2 years and how that's affected the decisions that I'm making going forward with this current cycle that I've been running. So as like kind of a crash course in what I've been up to, for those of you who have not been on my channel for the past 2 years, I ran Trenbolone for 1 year straight at a minimum of 50 milligrams per week. That included, I believe, 2 blasts where I went up substantially higher than that. So I ran Tren for an entire year, including blasts, never going below 50 milligrams of Tren for an entire year straight. And then when we started traveling, I took some period of time off. I cannot recall how long that was. I believe it was a few months, but my memory of that's not good. And when I tried to go back through my logs, it was not real explicit exactly how long I was actually off Tren completely. But I know after I ran the 1 year Tren cycle, I dropped all the gear that I was running for like a clean out period, dropped all the way down to TRT only. And I made a video titled What It's Like Coming Off of a 1 year Tren cycle. I also have a video titled What It's Like to, I ran Trenbolone for 1 year and this is what happened. I will try to link those videos at the end of this video. You can always just search my channel page. It's not that fucking hard. Just search the channel page, type in Tren, and you'll get all my Tren videos. So, as you can imagine, the psychological effects of running Trenbolone for a year straight are very fucking real. And so I took a relatively small period of time off, and then I started running Tren again with the intentions of actually never going above 50 milligrams for the duration of however long I ran it. I made another video talking about that. I cannot remember the name of the video. I believe it was something like Countdown to Trenbolone. Again, if you search my channel page, you'll be able to find these Tren videos. You should have watched all of them anyway. So for the past year, I have, well, almost the past year, for the past 10 months, I have been on Trenbolone for the past 10 months straight again. This time, I never went below 100 milligrams of Tren. So for 7 of the last, give or take 7 of the last 10 months, I was on a minimum of 100 milligrams of Trenbolone per week, Trenbolone E per week. And then for the past, going on 3 months now, I have been on at least 300 milligrams of Trenbolone per week. So all told, over the course of, let's say, the last 2.5 years, I have spent 2 of the last 2.5 years at a minimum running a minimum of 50 milligrams of Tren per week. I have spent the better part of a 2-year period at more than 100 milligrams of Tren per week. And the psychological effects, I'm afraid, are just beginning to take their toll. I made a video the other night talking about how suicidal I had become, and I honestly just feel like I fucking need a break. And so what you might be expecting me to be getting ready to tell you is that I'm going to stop running Tren for a period of time, which in all honesty, if I had half of a fucking brain, is what I would do. But instead, this is what I'm going to do for I don't know how long. We're going to test this and try it. So right now, as we speak, I am 12 weeks into a 500 milligram Test E, 300 milligram Masteron E, 300 milligram to 350 milligram Trenbolone E blast. I have been blasting those doses for 12 weeks. I also added in 50 milligrams of Anadrol to that cycle about 3 weeks ago, and I only ran it for like 2 weeks, and I just fucking was not doing okay psychologically. I just could not take the weight of the cycle anymore. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the fact that I spend entirely too much time reading the news and following current events. And so I'm just feeling the weight of having been on large amounts of gear for a very long period of time. Taking the Trenbolone alone out of the mix, I've spent the vast majority of the last 2 years never going below 600 milligrams of total androgens per week. And so now that we are at the 12-week mark, this is what I'm going to do. These are the changes that I'm going to make. I am still hell-bent on finding out what it feels like to run Tren and Deca together, despite all of the people who've told me this is a bad idea. So this last week was my last week at Trenbolone, at running Trenbolone at 300 milligrams a week. Starting effectively tonight, this is what my cycle is going to look like. I'm going to be running 500 milligrams of Test E per week, 300 milligrams of Masteron E per week, 100 milligrams of Trenbolone E per week, and 200 milligrams of Deca per week. I'm going to test those two compounds together in those doses and see what that feels like. I need a break from the high dose Tren that is forcing me to take multiple sleeping pills a night to go to sleep. I am convinced at this point that I'm actually not really sleeping, that I'm actually in a sort of like almost general anesthesia type of haze that is not actually REM sleep. I've done a couple of tests to try to confirm whether or not I'm actually getting into deep sleep, and I report, and my wife reports thinking that I'm sleeping because she hears me snoring, and yet I can still hear and remember everything that's going on in the room. And so I'm growing concerned that the reason for my mental decline is the fact that I'm actually sleeping far less than I really think that I am. And I think that just over the, such a long period of time of running high doses of Tren, or not high doses, but enough Tren that it keeps me in an extremely turned on sympathetic drive state. And at anything over 100 milligrams of Tren per week, I do not sleep good. I get Tren sweats. I get the temperature fluctuations, increased aggression, emotional distance from my family members. I have horrific sugar crashes. There's just a lot of really negative side effects that come from going above 100 milligrams of Tren. And honestly, guys, I gotta fucking take a break, like, for my sanity and for my family's sanity. And so I'm going to try to get away with doing that while adding Deca to the mix. I do not know if this is going to work. I know that I have read on numerous forums and Reddits that Deca, being a 19-nor drug, also activates the dopamine receptor in the brain, that it activates it slightly different than Trenbolone does. And so I could be in for a world of shit. I honestly don't know. If I was smart, I would probably spend 4 weeks dropping down to, take 4 weeks to drop down to 100 milligrams of Tren in my system before adding the Deca. But I'm not smart, and so I'm not going to do that. So starting tonight, I will be taking 100 milligrams of Tren E and 200 milligrams of Deca, not Deca E, because it's fucking Deca, dumbass. And so that's where my cycle is going to be. So that gives me 500, 300, and 300, which keeps me under that 1500 milligram mark that I also believe is causing me all of the problems. It's also worth mentioning that I have been dropping rate at a very, very rapid pace since going off of the MK677. I was stable at 207 pounds while I was still on the MK77 and coping with the lethargy after I shed all of the excess body water caused by allowing my estrogen to get out of range. Once I took the MK677 out of my protocol, I have had a constantly burning stomach and an absolutely miserable time eating, and I dropped the rest of the seven pounds that I was holding back down to 200 pounds this morning. So I'm going back onto the MK, and I'm going to find some way to cope with the lethargy. because I'm just not gonna watch. I'm just not gonna sit here and watch my gains wither away. My stomach was burning so badly this morning, and literally within 20 minutes of taking the MK, I was feeling substantially better. I don't know why that's working. I don't know what the cause of these things are. I just am here to report that that is what I'm going through. So that is where we currently stand with this cycle. So like I said, I'm at the 12-week mark. I'm hopeful that I can run at least 500 milligrams of Test E, 300 milligrams of Masteron E, 200 milligrams of Deca, and 100 milligrams of Trenbolone E. If the Deca will antagonize the progesterone receptor, but it antagonizes it at a substantially lower rate than the Trenbolone does. So I'm hoping that I can get away with my usual 0.75 milligrams of cabergoline per week. I also know that Deca is capable of aromatizing, although it aromatizes at a much lower rate. If I start to see symptoms of increasing estrogen in my body, then I will either A, add half of a milligram of Arimidex, or I will B, add 100 milligrams of Masteron to the equation to see if I can offset the increase in any estrogen that may come from what I think most people would agree is a very low dose of Deca. And then if I tolerate Deca at 200 milligrams well alongside the 100 milligrams of Trenbolone, then of course I'll be sitting back down with you in say 6 weeks or give or take and making another video talking about how I'm probably going to increase the dose of Deca, just depending on where my physique is at, how I'm feeling, whether I'm able to get back to 207 pounds, whether I'm able to eat, whether I'm able to cope with the MK lethargy. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of videos to follow. My wife and I may cut a video tonight, whether we do it live or just the two of us, going into how we educate our children, because I think that's going to be something interesting. For those of you who do not know, from the short that I recorded, I have created a Discord channel. It is up and live right now as we speak. So there's a ladies only channel. If ladies are watching my videos, please come over and check out the Discord. My wife is there, another lady is there, and we would love to have some more females in the Discord. You can message me and we'll come up with some way of vetting that you're actually a woman. You're welcome to the locked ladies only channels on my Discord. The Discord link is on my channel page. So we've got that going on. We've got the free OnlyFans is growing by leaps and bounds. If you guys want to continue to see all of the videos that I've been producing, the lives, the podcasts, I'm getting to an awkward place where I'm about to have to start begging. I'm getting to a place where I'm going to have to go back to work and shut down the vast majority of my video production and go back to, making a few videos a month, or I'm going to have to get you guys to help support this channel in any way that you can. So tips on OF, tips on YouTube. There's a variety of ways, coaching. I'm still doing coaching, $50 a month. You can Zelle me that payment. Anything that you guys can do to support the channel so that I can continue bringing you this and substantially more content would really help us out. I really love doing this, but I'm pushing it dangerously close to the edge of allowing this to negatively affect my family. And so I've got a number of revenue streams, to where, with a little help we could get there, and I could start doing these kinds of things, full time, if not, and then bring some different things to the table. So that is currently where I stand. Prayers, if you have them, thoughts, whatever you can do. I desperately want this Test and Deca, Tren and Deca thing to work. I desperately want to start getting sleep again. I desperately need my mental condition to return to some semblance of normalcy. And so I'm hoping over the course of the next 4 weeks, as the Trenbolone begins to melt out of the system, I will be able to get some fucking relief, because I promise you my wife and I need it. So there's a quick little update as to everything that I've been taking, everything that I'm going to be taking, a little window into the world of just how long I've been running Trenbolone. I can't continue to lie to myself and pretend like running Tren for damn near 2 years straight is not having massive psychological effects on not only my relationship, but the way I view the world and potentially my long-term health. So I'm going to try to dial it back to a more manageable dose without having to take it completely out of the equation. And like I said, I will have progress updates to follow at every turn. So as always, thank you for watching. Anything that you can do to support the channel, share the videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, tips on OF, anything that you can do to help support this channel. My wife and I are really starting to try to pour ourselves into this and see if we can't avoid me having to crawl back into the workplace that I was really not enjoying. So anything that you can do to help is always appreciated. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.